Alright, so let's see. So the first thing is your guys' job. So you see there's a team high point. They're going to like want to hit the beacon, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like the zone bug exists. Um, okay, one second. I for some reason I hear an echo from one of you guys. Is it even? It's kind of a distracting.
Um,
Could it be me? I
Here, let me
don't know.
talk again real quick, and
I
then I can
muted I
hear.
muted myself, so check if it's from me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, test, test, test. Okay, yeah, it's fine now. Okay, so the first thing is you can actually still hit this beacon. Like it is a little sketchy because High Point can. Well, the first thing is High Point has to like loot something before they hit this beacon.
mm-hmm.
So everything is delayed. Yes. But you can just loot these pods, wait and watch for that High Point person to like walk up back up the hill and then go hit it.
Yeah.
So as opposed to like hitting beacon on rotate, the reason why is just because if there is a zone near you and you have to hit a beacon off rotate, then yeah, that's not ideal.
Yeah, I think it kind of cucks us a little bit in this game anyway. Like we rotate to hit the beacon and
Yeah, it was fine in this game just because of the nature of this zone, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. And then so I guess I need to back up. I have a bunch of observations from this VOD. I've separated them into macro and like micro goals that I want you guys to focus on.
Okay.
They're not like what I'm gonna be going through them um like sequentially, so I'm not gonna go over macro then go over micro. It's kind of just based off the timestamps.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
I have all of this in a doc and I have the timestamps. I'll just conclude afterwards with like the general things that I want you guys to focus on, but I'm there's a lot of things in here that I'm being nitpicky, but there's yeah, again at the end of the doc there's like the main things that I want you guys to focus on. So some of these things don't like worry too much about them. I'm just pointing them out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
So
good actually.
that's
right,
good to know.
so this alt excel like you don't need to use it because the reasoning was you might take an early fight, but you have 2 minutes in the game. Like there's no one that's going to be near POI
Yep.
in 2 minutes. It's just impossible unless they some weird shit happen with a contest or something. Yeah. So if you were able to hit this beacon on rotate, it actually would have gone by a little bit faster in terms of your rotate. So the spot that you pointed out is pretty good, but yeah, unfortunately, like command center is just generally going to play this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Although it's not even that good, and this area is just outright better.
Yeah.
So in knowing that command center is just going to play here, or they're going to bait themselves into playing it, like you see this zone, you actually just want to go straight into command center and take this spot.
Okay.
We were
And-
considering like a Thunderwatch, going all the way around and holding Thunderwatch. But I don't know whether that's like a hindsight thing or what.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so you can. However, okay, so Lightning Rod is going to loot their POA craft, and they're going to go to Thunderwatch. If you go to Thunderwatch, well, actually, you can actually do that. Yeah, you can. I'm thinking about the fact that like from this high ground spot, there's like you can like go out on this edge
Yeah.
and just take roof control. But in those lobbies, that's probably just not going to happen. Like that's not going to happen. To be honest, I don't even think that's going to happen in Pro League other than like us doing it. So yeah, you can actually just go Thunderwatch here if you're rotating on the correct timer.
Yep.
So
I mean, I guess with the command center rotate, we'll be the first team there, bar maybe
Yes.
Cascades, but yeah.
right, Cascades really shouldn't be going there. Like they're like trying to dive like
Yeah, yeah.
Stormcatcher or some shit. Um, but yeah, so you guys opt to go here. The problem with this spot is like you have to think about. Do I have a picture? Oh yeah. Hold on a second. How do I open up an image on my browser? Is that a thing?
You need just a
Maybe
snip
image or
toollet,
some shit?
I think. Oh, okay, with the browser. Okay.
Well, like how do I upload? I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Maybe here or something. I'm just gonna share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys opt to go here because you realize that this is like taken. And obviously on this timer, like it's pretty, like you're taking a risk going for this because you are so late.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, it's kind of fine. Obviously, it's not ideal, but just so it's like clear, like yeah, if you play here, you have to push through so much bullshit to get to the other side. If that team inside wasn't a duo, then you guys just get sandwiched because there was a team behind you at some point,
Yeah.
and then you just fucking die. But really, the main thing that I wanted to talk about this game is so this Falco. So now I'll open up the map. Okay. Alright, so this is just a generic zone.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it ends like right here. And let's say there is a team, like let's say you're here and you have to vocal. And let's say there's other teams over here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say there's like a team here, like teams here, whatever. So the way you have to think about these late game vocals is that these teams naturally have to vocal first because zone's closing on them, and because there's nothing else happening on the map, or because they're the first to vocal, they have to like land on someone
Mm-hmm.
and grief them. So naturally, the teams that have to vocal after these teams are in a really good place in that they can just 3P whatever these teams land on.
Yeah.
So all you have to do, if you are not the first to vocal on the server, is to just vocal at the very last second, so that these teams have already vocaled and griefed someone, and then you can just land on them and 3P it. So in this example, you're not the first to vocal, in this like all you have the only way you have to think about it is like who is like the furthest away from zone, like, and it's not you. So what I mean here is just vocal at the literal last second.
Yeah, we went
Yeah, we
kind of
could've-
early. Could have bought some more time.
Yeah, like 10
Like,
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, holy fuck, we were so early.
Yeah, so you give the teams on the server like time to just grief each other, and then you can 3P them. And then in general, what you want to look for is a 3P,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lot of people look for like a spot to vocal to,
Yeah.
and that's just rarely ever a thing. Like that's rarely going to happen that there's just a spot open that you can just vocal to. Even if there is, you're probably like it's probably fucking terrible, and you're gonna get pinched, and you're just going to die.
Yeah, kind of
And
what
the other-
happened here.
Right. And the other thing to also acknowledge is that like you can't win every single game, and that's fine. Your goal is to maximize the amount of points that you're getting each game. So if that means that you're dying 5th place, but you're getting like KP along with it, that's fine.
Yeah.
If that's your most practical way to get points. So for example, there's a 3P right here. Now, like you do see a team on this cannon too.
Yeah.
And if you do 3P this, like there is a chance that you get wrapped by this team or even the team to north. Who knows? But at the very least, you get KP and 2 teams die, so you get like 7th with like some KP or something. That's like worst case scenario,
Yeah.
right? There is a chance that you actually just do survive this as well, and it's honestly it's not that low of a chance.
I honestly didn't even realize they were fighting in the moment there.
No, I didn't. either.
When
Fair
I watch
enough.
it back, I never realized that fight. That's kind of interesting.
So you think you're just like tunnel visioned?
Yeah, I think I was just tunnel vision on where to land, and I just
Well,
completely
I
forgot.
think
about
that's
it.
yeah, I think that's part of what I mean is that like a lot of people are when they're Valkyrie, they're looking for spots to land at
Yeah, true.
instead, and so they're tunnel visioning on that
Yeah,
when they really should be like in your position where you Valkyrie is different because you're not the first Valkyrie. You really should be thinking of like what fights can I 3P instead. So like shifting your perspective on that is really important. Okay, so you guys get contested here. There's not, and then yeah, there's not much to say about that early game. You get contested, you win the contest, and then
They late land on us.
you can't like do your noble rotate because you're late. So like not much you could do about that. So yeah, I'm gonna mention some micro things as well. So here, obviously, you just don't need to zero out until
Yeah.
they've like opened the latch.
Yep.
I don't think the VOD is audio on my end. I don't know if it's just me or.
Because
might
it's
just
a
be
screen
quiet.
share. Because it's a
Oh.
screen share.
Oh,
It's not.
yeah,
It's
my
fine.
bad. I got you.
Yeah, thank you. That's better. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna nade in. Okay, get ready to queue up, or get ready to ult them.
Yeah, I'll queue the middle. Okay.
And then here, you also just don't need to Sirkia.
Just save, just a case of saving it for like a time we might need it.
Yeah, well, this is something I noticed a lot in this VOD is that you're using Sirki for the scans.
Yep.
In this situation, you used it after Cyril, but in general, you often use it at the beginning of the fight for the scan.
Yep.
But yeah, you should just use CQ for heal and risk cancel.
Yep.
And that should be its primary use. And if you know that you're going to Cyril to fight, like especially do not use it for the scans.
Yep.
So in this case, like you see your ulta, CQ doesn't do anything for you. Like you might get info on their armors, but it's like
Yeah.
if you're already committed to this fight, it's not information that's like going to change anything. Like you've already committed to this fight.
Yep.
Or if you wanted to get that armor info to tell you if you're going to take the fight, like let's say their armors are just far superior, then you wouldn't use Cyril initially either.
Queue first, and then yeah. They're going to the other team.
They might full strength.
Look at this guy close to us. Oh, nothing.
So here you guys, so that team leaves and they go to this choke. They end up going to like this spot over here.
Mhm.
The mistake is like going to trail this team when there's a team in this building. In
Yeah.
fact, this team in this building is just like trolling out of their mind. Like they're just bad, right? Like if this is a good team, you guys are just dead here. They just mirror you, and then especially with advantage. In fact, like they should have just killed you actually while you're walking up here, like with advantage easily.
Nothing on scan.
But otherwise, like you guys recognize that, you turn around, you're like, okay, let's fight this team instead. And this fight is actually really good to take. Like it's just a free fight, and also like the storm point win condition is that like you're the team outside the building, they're the team inside.
Yeah.
If you're the one outside, you just win with Cyril.
They're inside here.
But I'm just gonna play this up.
One's on the right. One's on the right. I'm scanning. My Yeah, I see what you mean by that. Yep.
Right, so this is a wasted CQ. You don't need to use it for scans. If you have the intention of killing them with serial, then you also just don't need to use it.
If I remember correctly, this is bad as well. Yeah.
Right, exactly. This is another one. So you don't have info as to. I mean, there's a whole other building like to the west. Like
Yeah,
you don't
well,
actually have enough
this is
info
like-
to know they're here.
Half of the Cyril is wasted because half of it's outside of the buildings.
Yeah.
They went to the other side. This is a really bad building for them. One's trying. I'm pushing up. I'm pushing up.
Me too.
Have you got your ult, Dennis?
Yeah, I do.
We should
I'm ulting the guy on the
So, and as you guys remember, like you get 3P here,
Yeah.
Yep.
but the 3P isn't actually a big deal here. Like I would tell any pro team to take this fight. The reason why the 3P came and like fucked you guys is partial, like in part because of like the ability usage earlier.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like Veloxia Horizon, and the way you have to think about Legends is that like Veloxia Horizon is just specifically designed to accelerate fights and nothing, and literally nothing more. Like you're just using it to close out fights far faster than you would otherwise with other Legends.
I think my ulti was pretty better as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't. Do you have your POV?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay.
can look it up real quick if you want.
Is that another team?
Okay, so there is a 3P now. And naturally at this point, like, you have to fucking disengage. Like, you have to. Like, you're in a serial. The other team is just irrelevant to you.
Yeah.
Like, the most important thing is just stay alive. So you have to just all disengage the east. And I think,
Come back to me.
and you do comment, but it seems like your teammate's just like television on the kills.
Wait, this is round
Yeah, I
2,
would-
right? We're watching.
Yeah, it's round
Okay,
two.
well let me see on my POV real quick. You can keep going though.
Yeah.
Just look it up.
1 second.
It'd be good to see your POV as well, Dennis, from like when I told you guys to back up.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what
even-
I want to.
Even you called the disengage as well.
Me?
Yeah, you said let's disengage, as well as me saying come.
Round 2.
Have you noticed a lot of teams in EU are using your Seer Valk Watson comp?
Yeah, it seems like there's some using it.
It's quite a lot in this sort of this round 2, round 3. There's quite a few.
Yeah, makes sense. It's not necessarily better than this comp. It just depends on your POI.
Yep.
And from WoW, you should definitely play Horizon over Watson. We just did it at LAN with GMT because like,
Because of how
You
Gnaske
can-
likes to play, right?
yeah, how
Or
Gdaska likes to
used to.
play. Also, I didn't really have time to lab out a bunch of like edge rotates for WoW.
Yeah.
Well,
And then-
I did some, but like, yeah, like our leading up to the tournament, we just had like literally no practice. So, and it was good enough of a comp that you could still, like in that meta, that you could just still far like surpass everyone. So, yeah.
Okay.
Did you find your POV?
I think I did. Let me just find the fights.
No worries.
One thing I did want to ask is, you know, on World's Edge, you guys run, or I think you guys are running what, Fuse instead of Seer.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind that? Because obviously, like Seer, like I mean, everyone runs Seer, so Seer obviously is like extremely helpful in fights and stuff. But is it just like taking mid-range engage with Fuse?
It's about answering the questions that like the map is asking you. So what I mean by that is like, so
Link's
some like
design.
some intro. Yeah, exactly. Some intro questions is like, how do you push a building, or how do I push this building, or how do I defend it?
Yep.
What you'll find is on Stormpoint is you get angled out when you're defending a building because there's like 10 windows and doors,
Yep.
and there's no cover inside, and there's super long sight lines looking into the building. So if there's like 10 windows and doors and you have 3 people on your team, you're dying because of like RNG. Like the enemy is like unpredictable. They can peek you anywhere at any time, and you don't have enough people on your team to hold all 10 windows and doors. World's Edge buildings have like 2-3 doors, sometimes 4. So it where people are peeking is like highly predictable. And then on the flip side, if you're pushing
Let's go left.
buildings on World's Edge, like you know where people are because the buildings are like small for the most part.
Like
Like
you can just like pre-queue angles.
Right, I just know where someone's going to be in a building or in
Yeah.
a room. Stormpoint is not so much. Like if I'm pushing a building in Stormpoint, like yes, I have 10 windows and doors, but also the room is very big, so they could technically just like they could be quick on their feet and move around a lot.
Yep.
Like it is easy to kill them. Like I'm still at advantage like pushing a building on Stormpoint, but like Seer just speeds that up so much.
Right, one's on the right.
But on World's Edge, because the buildings are small and they only have like 2-3 entrances, I can't angle people out. I have to like brute force them with like abilities, and
Yep.
specifically breaching abilities. So like Horizon, Fuse, and Maggie.
Yeah, that
my
makes
POV in the chat. I think that should be that fight.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
inside here. Can we walk up and take roof? One's on the right. One's on the right. I'm scanning. I'm about to have my ult. I'm ulting. They went to the other side. As soon as I threw it, I was really annoyed about that Seer
It's a
ult.
really bad building for them. One's trying. I'm pushing up. I'm pushing up.
On the door.
Have you got your
I have my
your
ult.
ult?
Yeah, I
Ennis?
I can ult the guy on the I'm ulting the guy on the door, so I distract them. I'm stuck in one. Stuck in one.
One on my door. One on my door.
Nice.
The ulti just
Nice, nice,
fucked
nice.
me as well, man.
I don't think it's a bad ult. It like sucks off like half the building
Yeah,
inside.
actually.
It also stops them from leaving through one of the doors. It's fine.
Yeah, I just wonder
I
what
guess
I
I wanna
what I
see the
did when he
reverse.
said disengage. I want to know what I did.
Yeah, let's see it.
That's
Bow
different.
flow. Bow flow.
Valk's super low. That's new team.
Is that another team?
Yes,
Nice,
it
nice.
is.
Come back. Come back. Come back.
I just took the long way.
Disengage.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to let go. We have to let go. We have to turn and fight this other team.
I think it was aiming here and then also
Yeah, but swap on me. Swap on me.
They're swinging
looting.
away, swinging
Yeah,
away.
looting too much there. That was
Yeah.
pretty useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan was Ryan was in a pretty bad spot as well. The main
He
spear
was
side.
shooting the Vantage too for no reason.
Yeah.
The Vantage
Yeah.
is like running away. She's just unimportant. She's not a threat.
That's like unnecessary tunnel visioning again, like finishing kills, looting without reason. Just had to run away.
Just a bit of greediness.
Yeah, exactly.
He just makes
Uh,
he gets a few kills. I think the mains does.
yeah, you got the kills, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but you definitely could have survived. Alright, so let's see. So now we're on World's Edge.
Yeah, probably familiar POIs for you.
Yeah, I was about to
It's-
say.
it
I got
is
some
fairly,
TSM fans.
I mean, that's the
We have
funny
a
thing. I
32
am.
month sub on Hell in
Yes,
this
he
chat.
is.
It was a happy accident. I'll say that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just makes me laugh.
No worries. I mean, we chose him for a reason.
Close. One's white.
Okay, so the first thing I actually want to talk about is actually this game you guys land like as if you're contested because you were about to get contested.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like there was that team that landed North Siphon. So your loot paths are all messed up, naturally. Like that's not your fault.
Yeah.
But the thing to be cognizant is when you are late on rotate from Siphon, just know that you are not on the edge of the map, and now you're on like the same timer as all these like edge teams over here. Okay, not tree, but like thermal, launch site, and dome, especially. Well, launch site doesn't have craft for this game, but like launch site could be going to Siphon right now.
Yep.
In fact, they probably they should be, because launch site gets there before dome. Naturally, you guys or the Siphon team would be gone at this point. So I'm pretty sure this is the launch site team. Is it actually? I mean, actually,
It
I
is.
don't know.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
I checked
they're
that.
just. Sorry, go ahead.
I checked that VOD. I know who it is. So yeah.
Oh, okay. To be fair, they're like incredibly slow on this rotate. Like they're like a minute behind, if not a little bit more. But the main thing you have to understand is that like, yeah, you're light on rotate, not your fault, but you're on the timer of these like edge teams, and that means that if you do take a fight with one of these teams that is coming in, you are at a very high chance of just getting 3P'd.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys actually end up taking this fight.
Put a gen down here.
In fact, it turns out to be like a pretty extended fight.
Yeah, it took pretty long, yeah.
I almost cracked one. Nice, I'm jumping down.
Horizon.
Last one's running away. I cancelled his back goal. He's dead. Nice.
At some point, you guys got shot by another team, no? Am I trying?
I don't think we did. No.
Oh, okay. But the main thing I just wanted to mention is that, like, yeah, this is actually quite a risky fight to take. It's not like if you get a big opening, it's not necessarily a bad fight to take.
Mhm.
However, like once you had to drop here, like you have to get the fuck out of here like as soon as possible. Because if like the dome team or the Lava City comes to 3P
Yeah.
and they're just above you and you're just like stuck on the slow ground, then you're just fucked. And there's just no way for you to get out.
Do you reckon I should have stayed up on the high ground, just as an extra safety? Because they
Let's
were
see
dead
what
anyway,
option.
right? Like, I mean, I destroyed that guy.
I almost cracked one.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
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 And then I just scout for the last guy up here.
100%. Like you scout for the last guy, but you also just scout for the 3P mostly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
I guess, like, with this level, I don't expect it to be a 3P here, but like, the higher you go, the more chance of it, I guess. The better
Yeah.
the teams.
Yeah.
Last one's running away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only advantage you have here against those two POIs that your loot is way better than launch site and dome. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. Like your armors is definitely an advantage when you have a purple and double blue. But as you said, like it's timing is the problem.
Right. I guess one small thing I forgot to point out is also another
Let's kill this.
Another CQ.
another series.
Yes.
I'm going to point them all out, but it's
Yeah, do it.
important. you know?
Nah, do it, do it.
Like yeah, you don't need to see or keep it. And then in general, you just like should always aim it as well. And
Do I-
then
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna ask. I forgot what you said, but then I remembered. So
Oh man.
I didn't hear what you said exactly, and I was like, oh, actually, that makes sense. I did hear it.
I would say in general, by the way, like teams in this, in like preseason calls are just like slower on rotate.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that means, like, as a whole, is good for us to get used to speeding up our general rotate? Like, instead of like going matching everyone else's speed, we speed up and then hold people like from zone that way.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say, like, yeah, monkeying around on edge in these lobbies when the zone's like closing, especially with the zone change, is like pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that when I was landing lightning rod.
Want to make sure no one's gonna come on our back.
Was in zone.
Well, the nice thing about lightning rod at the very least is you're the last team on your side and you have high ground
Yeah.
over everything. So and that
Yeah.
Just a
then it's
standard
like
roll.
it's fine.
I
But
checked that.
yeah, so this is another thing on about my point about like rotation timers. Like you're late from Siphon,
Mhm.
so you're on like, and you took a fight. So
Yeah.
you're on like you're on a very similar rotation timer as Thermal, because Thermal, like people at Thermal just take a million years to loot their POI.
Yeah.
And Respawn has like very intentionally put beacons and crafters in like terrible spots so that people can like get shot off them
Yeah.
to and like incentivize fighting. But yeah, I decided to like be cognizant of this. And like um I guess I should ask, like, what is y'all's experience or history with like competitive effects?
Well, so I mean, last year I made the semis of Pro League quals, but that's as far as I've really gone, and like just small weekly tournaments and stuff. With, I mean, in EU, a lot of pro teams play in them, but that's pretty much the level. We haven't got like that much higher level than that.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been like playing and then watching as well?
I started at the end of season 4, and I think I have like 4K hours in the game now.
Okay.
I think I started watching comp when. Do you remember when KC was still in comp and was like
Yeah,
how long ago that was?
like season 5.
Yeah, I think around season 5 I started watching comp and stuff. Not really like deeply, but just watching the turn here and there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm very similar like in terms of like the amount of experience in terms of in game, and like I started season 4, but I've watched excessive amounts of comp and like all of the Hodsick videos and all of that. You know, like the Hodsick playlist he has on YouTube.
Oh right, I haven't actually watched those, but
It's
I know what
it's a
you're
lot of old
referencing.
stuff, but I've excessively watched a lot of comp.
Alright. So yeah, one thing you have to know, especially at Siphon. Actually, I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna draw something up for you guys like after this, include this in the doc. But I'm just gonna put like some very general timings on the POIs near Siphon, like how long it takes for them to loot.
Okay.
And you don't have to. You don't have to like be just perfectly know these timers. It's not that. It's more like, okay, I know that Thermal takes a fuck ton of time to loot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to just be aware of that. Like if I am late on rotate, things like that.
You save there?
Or like,
Kinda.
for example, Tree doesn't take that long to like they're out of there ASAP. Obviously, some of this changes in preseason. Like you should always just play off info, but it's more of like
Just the basic
Uh,
understanding.
basic understanding. Yeah, so you can like
Yeah.
at least be careful
Yeah.
when you're like moving around the map.
Just note on the thermal, Alliance takes, and they are so fast in thermal, 2.5 minutes. And the thermal loots, complete loot. And I think they are not slow. So thermal needs way more than any other POIs.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, taking that long in thermal is a really big bait, but that's another conversation for another time.
Was this Zero okay? I was doing it just to kind of force them back a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's fine. It's fine. I'd say this is another CQ that is
Yeah.
necessary. And actually, this is the first time where the CQ really would have changed the fight. So I'll show when.
Oh, okay. In a second, I guess.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Because we could have killed them if I had CQ here.
Oh my
Yeah, you get
god.
a massive beam. Imagine if CQ just fucking slide MQ up horizontal,
Yeah, that would have been huge.
shit on him.
Yep. We would have been able to easily wipe them.
Yeah. And then
This fight takes way too long.
yeah, it does. Like, thankfully, you've cleared out a team from your back. So, like, you're the team doing the sandwiching here, but the one thing I especially want to mention about this fight, though, is that, like, this is actually pretty damn good fight to take because this team doesn't have GBLs or Cyril, and they have a fucking Wraith,
Yeah.
so they're just useless. Now, like you are dealing with a bit of like terrain disadvantage, but like you're about to have Cyrils, you have Horizonal, you have like an entry fragger that's actually useful. So this is actually a good fight to take. It just had to be accelerated, and we could talk about like how that could have been done. The first thing is obviously just this Q right here. Thank you.
I saw in your doc it was sick you.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can see it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I saw it earlier when you shared your screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one question. Like, let's say, like, Hal plays Horizon, obviously, there's IGL on World's Edge, but when you have a Seer on, or the IGL on Seer, what kind of role does Horizon have, in your opinion?
Yeah, we could talk about that. So, we could like back up and just talk about Horizon as a character in general. So Horizon, as you know, if you start a fight with Horizon and like if you queue up at the beginning of a fight with Horizon, you're just going to get beamed the majority of the time.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Even if you're
experience with that.
Right. Even if you're on controller, like Hal dies queuing up at the beginning of a fight all the time, even on
Yeah.
controller. So what you need with Horizon is you need something to take attention away from her. And in this comp, it's the Valk in the Seer.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have this like in the doc, but the way you want to play this comp is the Seer enables the Valk with like Wallhacks to entry frag.
Yeah.
And then, so the Valk can take attention away from the Seer, and the Seer can go in afterwards once they're like healing or they're looking at the Valk, and then the Horizon just comes in sort of at the end.
Yeah, like
She's like
clean up.
the anchor.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
anchor,
she
okay.
cleans up especially because Horizonal, like you want people to be pinned down or cornered when you're Horizon ulting,
Yeah.
so so they can't dodge it.
I don't know who told this, but I think someone said like Horizon should be mostly used to like close out a fight and not to start a fight. I don't know who said it,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you agree with that.
I see.
I mean, that was probably
Oh.
that might have been me, but I don't know. Or,
I think I might have
I've
heard
also
your
said that.
stream. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so the reason this fight kind of took long, from my POV at least, because I was kind of on the Vank angle here on the right instead of the actual Valk, and I don't know, I didn't want to like queue up and get insta beam like you said, because all attention would be on
Yeah.
me there. That's why this fight took really long, because we were on the wrong angles, in my opinion. at least.
100%. I
Yeah.
agree. Like, I actually believe that the Valk could literally be up here, right?
Yeah,
Like, very far up,
yeah.
instead of like anchoring in the back. And in fact, you two like double angle hold right here, which is really bad.
Yeah,
Well, me and the Valk, or
Yeah, you
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Valk.
because I'm kind of doing decent damage to the point where I feel like the Valk can walk up. Like I feel like from where I am,
Absolutely.
I'm given like, I guess cover fire.
I didn't mention that Seer key because I know that was a misclick. I know that one was a misclick, so
I'm a Wraith main at heart, so that kind
I
of
see.
that used to happen a lot.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I totally agree. Like, Valk needs to be the one in the front, like pushing your advantages.
yeah.
And then the Seer helps her do that.
Yeah.
And then the Horizon gets to come in once all the tension is not on her, and she gets to go crazy.
So I play mostly with the Seer then, I guess, right? Or
you're kind of just in the back.
okay,
Like,
yeah.
you don't even need to play around the Seer now. You're kind of just shooting for your teammates so that they can walk up.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'm there just supporting the
The
Valk.
Valk, yeah.
okay.
You're not playing with the Valk. You're just giving her alt, like
Yeah.
giving info from your passive, getting keys off. You know, like you two shouldn't be on top of each other. Like, the Valk and the Seer should not be on top of each other. But you guys are playing off your timers in a fight. If that makes sense.
Yep.
You know, because obviously Valk's movements. I mean, yeah, you get no audio. Bit unlucky. I mean, pretty unlucky. You know,
Happens a
not
lot,
much you can do
sadly.
about that. Yeah,
Rare incident.
Yeah, very.
rare incident for
Yeah.
sure.
I just didn't need to queue there again.
I actually think that Q is like kind of fine.
Is
But-
that just because of the like pressure it gives, or? Like,
Yeah,
gives
at this
it pressure?
point, you don't have like. Okay, if you have cereals and you intend on pushing a team,
Yep.
like, and you're gonna start with a cereal, like, you don't use Q for scan. But if like there are times where like here you don't have cereal, and you need to use your Q for scan for like defensive reasons, like you want to know,
Yep.
you know. I think you just like took it a little bit too long to use it.
Yeah, to line it up, yeah.
Right.
Low sense problem. I'm joking.
I feel like that'd be a high sense problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of just a skill issue, to be honest.
I mean, it happens.
Are you getting scanner study on Dorito?
So I guess in theory, if yeah, I don't need to queue here because I can
Yeah.
ult in a second.
Yeah.
What?
Like Syracuse probably wouldn't have done much here, but well, let's say actually, yeah, if you didn't have a nade, the Syracuse would have gone crazy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but the main thing I want to talk about here is that like, okay, you guys have a knock here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know you've taken like this has been a very drawn out fight,
Yeah.
and especially on World's Edge, this map is fucking tiny. Like people are always in close proximity to 3P. Once you guys get a knock, I want you to just think about resetting, like nothing else on this map. Well, on any map, but especially this map. The only thing that matters here is that you are healthy for the 3P. Because this duo is now just like not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
This knock, they literally cannot res this person. There's just no way. So, like, you get a knock, you pretty much just, unless these people are literally actively trying to kill, like they're literally on top of you right here. Otherwise, like, just think about resetting and calm that even. Like, it's actually especially calm that.
Yep.
So what I mean by that is like you guys like heal and you hold each other while you're healing,
Mm-hmm.
and you make space and you get info, like, but you're not looking to like end, like you're not looking to like end the rest of this fight.
Yeah.
We're just looking to kind of like reset and like think about rotate or like whatever's happening next.
But you're thinking about the 3P,
Yeah.
but also I mean yeah, the rotate too, sure. And then here, so you guys actually do see the 3P coming. I'll be back. Or at least there was a knock, like one of you said, I think it was the Valve, right?
No, I think I'm
Another
not
team
one.
behind him.
Oh, I might be.
Oh, yeah. Ryan said there's a team behind.
Oh.
Right. So you know there's a 3P, as there should be, because this has been a super drawn out fight. The only thing that matters is that you guys are like healthy and like making space, like shooting off the 3P.
Stabilize, okay? We're gonna need to Valcult, It's safe for me.
So in my eyes, like there's a team behind them. Like they could very well be pushing. Maybe I'm missing like something from the other two perspectives, but like I would just not greed your red armor here. If you know there's a team behind him that is like,
Just take the red
Potentially
and
push.
purple, yeah.
yeah, just take the
I'm
purple.
even I think that's me getting shot at as well. But you see some shots come first.
Yeah. They throw nades and stuff. Like I thought they were pushing. Honestly, when I was watching this, like I thought they were pushing.
I can check my POV real quick.
That
I can check it as well.
Can we walk up and take roof? One's on the right, I'm scanning. I'm about to have my ult.
Oh, we were both one. Holy fuck. Or you were knocked out was so low.
They went to the other side.
There's another team up there.
Okay, we're gonna have to Valcott then if there's two. This is a really bad building for them. Okay, one's trying. He's on the door. I'm pushing up. I think they're all alive. Have you got?
Yeah, they are.
Team on the horizon. I shot on the horizon. I cracked Seer. Here. I'm swinging soon.
Valk 60.
At 25 flash and Seer. I cancelled that.
That's solo. Nice.
I knocked him.
Valk with me. Or zero.
Valcott me.
I got hit some crazy shots in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Who? The Horizon?
yeah, he wall bounced and was hit his wing.
Yeah, he just destroyed me.
I need.
I'm melted.
We go this backside. Not kidding.
question I
'cause
have.
it-
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, instead of Valcourting, could we have just like taken the fight? You reckon? Like once we stabilize, like if I got the armor swap on the purple,
I mean,
or is it just too risky to do
25,
that?
25 seconds is
Yeah.
too risky.
yeah, it's too risky. And also, you don't have Cyril's or Resno, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's actually the worst kind of fight, yeah.
Do you think I wasted my ulti there on that Horizon? Because she was cracked already.
Let me watch it.
Ja, ja,
Swing on me, swing on me. I shot on the horizon.
Yeah.
I would say in general, just like don't throw Horizon ult at like solo Horizons.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
Yeah.
Cracked him. Naded one off.
I'm not gonna.
One HP Valk. Knock the Valk, knock the Valk.
It was Horizon. I don't know why I call Valk.
Okay,
Pop
okay,
in the
okay,
Valk,
we're
pop
gonna
in the
Valk,
Valk,
we're
pop
gonna
in the
Valk, we're gonna Valk, okay.
Yeah.
oh yeah, maybe you didn't know. Well, I guess there was a CQ on it, but yeah, I thought you guys were honestly dead here. But
So
yeah,
did
so at this point, like you guys have 2 squad wipes, almost. Wait, no, you do. You actually do have. Well, you have like 2 squad wipes equivalent of yours. But this Valcolt, like you're the first of Valcolt on this entire map right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, like you're literally hugging the edge, and that means that there's no way there's anything valuable open, and then on top of that, there's no one fighting
Yeah.
because no one has to fight, like at this point. So, like naturally, if you ever see someone Valcolt in a position like this, like I can always tell, like if I'm ever doing a watch party or watching you guys, like I can always assume that their game is fucked at this point, unless like something miracle happens. Like I don't even have to watch the rest of it. It's just the nature of the fact that you're the first of Valcolt. There's nothing open. There's nothing 3P.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So you guys actually end up settling for. You guys actually end up finding a spot, and I think you guys mentioned this. Like, you should have landed low ground.
Yep.
Like ultimate low, but
Yeah.
the reality is you still die there. Like it's still a terrible
Yeah,
spot.
just like extending your death kind now.
Right. And the reason why you guys have to like settle for this bad spot, like round 3 closing, is because of like all the early game mistakes and
Yeah.
like extended fights that were happening. Like everything took too long before this, so you didn't have time to scout for your next rotate or fight for your next rotate. So if this fight had taken, I mean, this was like this shit took like I don't actually know how long it took, but like a whole
One
zone
question.
pretty much.
One question, Raven. Don't you
Sure.
think it was a better idea for them to land on the solo of the team who tried to 3P them and win the spot? There was only
Well,
one
there was a
person
duo,
from the
right?
2. No, there were 3 trios, and their
Yeah, you're-
third is either
he
scouting or
is.
charge rifling from the far.
Oh, this? I
Yeah,
guess
this
I
is-
don't. I would like. At least
Like
to
they-
me, it doesn't. I don't necessarily know that this is like. This is
I mean-
the third.
I
but-
mean, for me, there are 2 people are running into the things comfortably, even on the bridge, like 100%. And the guy is not even shooting the bridge, but is shooting the guy on the top. Like I would shoot the let's say the open area for me, the free kills, because the Valcolt are not free kills. The people landing on the spot, if they were trios, they are free kills. Like they are walking on the bridge. So I mean, for me, it was pretty sure that this guy, even before I discussed it with Teddy, before I knew anything about the fight, I told him this is their third, and because he was scouting or charge rifling them during the fight, I think from the far. So
Oh, I see what you mean.
and then even like the fact that he's in a charge rifle or a scout, it means he has no way to put a lot of damage on the close range. Like he's in a worse even spot with due to the weapons. And winning
Right.
this fight means actually being in a very good spot afterwards, compared to what they are now.
Should we go?
We might play for underneath, okay?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, the
I
charge
feel like.
and shit.
Well, okay, so my reasoning as to like why I wouldn't do that is because the fact that there's only one here and the other 2 are here is like absurd.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm.
it's ridiculous. So in my mind, when I saw this, I was like, "There's no way this is the same team." Even though what
Yeah.
you're saying makes sense, like, but again, I'm thinking about it from like, I'm from like tier 1 Apex, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
that's my
true.
perspective right now, and that's like my mode of thinking. So like,
That's 100% correct in a tier 1 Apex. 100%.
Like,
No duos will go like this because anyone will just kill this guy from the first moment. if he's
Yeah,
alone.
exactly. Like sometimes when people do dumb shit, it just works out because it's so absurd and
Yeah.
random. But yeah,
I think we have to play for underneath. I think we
but
have to
no, what you're saying makes sense. It's just it is hard to sometimes make sense of some of that shit, at least for me. But yeah,
Do you reckon the other option was like, once we know it's a duo, like now once we know that they're split now, we just like we can queue up on them. Like you actually use it as a
Yeah.
entry tool this way.
yeah,
Like walk up, like either walk like queue here or walk up to like where the cart is and then queue up there. That was my only other thought.
I
Yeah,
think
I
their
think that-
anchor.
go ahead.
I think their anchor has a pretty good angle on you. The one on the truck. I think he will put a lot of damage on you during
Yeah.
this. And
I think-
it's a great thing both.
It's just as an option to survive and maybe get kills if we can.
I think what you're saying, there is a window for it, but it's a
Yeah.
short one.
Yeah.
It's a very short one. It's like you land and you have to immediately do it.
Yep.
I don't think we even looked at how they were positioned at all. I think we were just tunneled on landing where we
Oh
called.
no,
to
I,
land.
I saw them, but like I didn't want to call landing. It was literally what Raven said. I didn't want to call landing on that guy in the truck in case it was actually a 3-man, because my thought was I thought that would be a 3-man,
Right.
not the same team. Like at the moment, I genuinely thought that. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely very weird, but yeah, makes sense. The main thing is though is like, yeah, just understanding that the reason you had to make Hail Mary Valk ult and you couldn't scale for your next rotate is like everything leading up to that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I guess if we get everything done earlier, we have like control of Dorito, and then we can look to push these guys earlier if needed, right?
Yeah,
Or like hold them out at the
100%.
very least, and then like
and yeah, and if you have ult excels for your Horizon, you can get like your next rotation of abilities
Yep.
earlier. So
that makes sense.
by the way, if you ever want to push this RV, you need to have someone like someone on this fucking.
Yeah, the banner
God
rock thing.
rock.
Yeah, God
And
rock.
I
I
should-
actually don't know how to push. Like, I'd have to lab this with this comp. Like, we do this push, or we've labbed this push with TSM with like Fuse, because the Fuse can just sit up here. It's
Mhm.
super easy. Trying to think of how you would do it with this comp. I'm actually not sure if you can. You might. It's worth trying though. The problem is you need the Horizon and a Valk to like be the ones over here, like the RV, to like queue up
Yeah.
and like in the Horizon ult for the RV. But then that means the Seer's like anchoring. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little bit weird. But either way, yeah, if you have more time, you could definitely make something else happen. Because like let's say you can't fight this team, you find out you can't fight this, or you can't push it. At least you have time to like scout this out and look over there, or rip Valko closer to zone so you can maybe 3P something on the north side or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see.
You're on my VOD now, so you probably have to go to his if you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see some awesome tier queues. I have a question about contesting with on this, because obviously Siphon's fairly heavily contested place.
Is it?
Well, it's
Thanks
fairly
to TSM.
fairly bad teams go there.
Since TSM.
I mean,
Yes.
there's mainly bad teams go there, right? But I don't want to
Oh,
like
okay.
like the issue is because it feels like a 50-50 when we do it. I don't know whether that's just because of the way we land or what, but like I don't know. I want to be able to like keep the spot, because when we get into like semi-finals and stuff, like teams are gonna be here. There's not really any like high tier team here, but I want to still be able to like not leave just because like someone is contesting us, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, but
Makes
we
sense.
don't have a very good contest strategy for it because
I have
Well,
a
we
VOD
just-
of a scrim where we contested like 3 times and we just lost it every time
yeah, we literally just got rolled over pretty much.
by
By
some
Okay,
dog
the
shit
team-
teams.
Yeah, by a team who is like pound for pound much worse than us.
Could be better in that regard.
I see. To be honest, it's like a whole, like other session.
Yeah, yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
I could definitely go over that, but yeah.
I think it depends
Um,
on the team as well, because you knew who was landing Siphon and how to probably land based off how they landed.
For Dome 30,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a bit of a 50-50 for sure. But there's
Yeah.
a few things that you can do. Yeah. Okay, so
Because
first
no
thing I want to
team lands the
mention.
same. It's whatever. Just continue with
Oh,
this.
okay. Yeah, no worries. The first thing I wanted to say about this is that, yeah, obviously the zone bug exists, but like you can just loot the top floor of Middle Siphon and then just go hit the beacon afterwards, so you have more time to look at the zone. Obviously, it's a dome zone, so you don't have to like think too much. But
Yeah, you forgot Beacon quite
Yeah.
often,
Yeah, yeah.
even in round 1.
yeah, the other thing is like, so Teddy, you looted this building, and then you went back here for these bins,
And then I went back, yeah.
and then you went back for these 2 bins. But
Yeah,
these 2 bins are pretty useless, to be honest.
yeah.
Like you're probably going to be going center siphon, like obviously a lot because you need to pick up shit or like craft, but
3-1 PK.
or if you need to go north or what northeast. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. I think I just did it because I knew where we were going, so I kind of just did it on the way. But as you said, it's kind of pointless.
Oh no, not this fight. This one hurt, man.
Yeah, especially knowing who killed us.
well, I want to talk about the macro here because so off the flight path, there's a team launch site, and then
Yep.
that there's a team Lava City,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and it's a dump zone. Wait, does launch site have a beacon? Yeah, they do.
This building. And then I got nothing on.
So, and this is like end zone, right? So, and then on top of that, Harvester is going to be getting there super quickly. In fact,
They did.
They
did.
thirded the team that
Okay,
killed us.
that's-
Yeah,
right. Yeah, okay, that's what I.
was
So
Bavis.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I like caught it after you guys died, but I just assumed that someone's going to be 3-ping that. So, yeah, my point is like, yeah, you just can't fight here. You're just going to get third party anyways. In fact, the third party should have came way earlier, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So usually our macro is for launch site zones. We try and go towards Dome and hold out from that side, like for like launch, then middle of like that open area, like all the lava.
There's one far one.
Oh, okay.
We kind of usually come towards Dome for like that. We've won games off that before, but I guess it's because this was a hard Dome zone. There'll be more teams around here.
I'm throwing it on roof.
Yeah, but yeah, let's
We can back up.
rewind. So here, like you hit it one guy, but obviously it's a wasted key. You don't need it.
Yep.
It might suck him. It is, sort of. I'm walking up on that.
Yeah, we made a lot of noise as well, like alt,
Yeah, a lot of noise.
shooting nades and stuff.
Right. And then same thing with this. This here also has had the same issue as the one on Storm Point, game 2.
Yep.
Which is like they just like backed up.
Yeah.
So get more info before you like.
Just
see it
randomly
like
toss
that.
it. Yeah.
Right. Well, they're like in it, but like. Oh, actually, you threw it further than I thought. And then okay, this one is a wasted CQ.
Yep.
The serial's actually not as bad as I. Oh no, it is. I'm trying.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah. It's their serial that's like over here. But the main thing about this is along the conversation we had about the roles of each legend in this fight is that like
Yep.
your Velk has to be looking
Doing
for like,
the
these
angle like
angles.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, this is a good peak if you're like an entry figure.
Yeah.
I cracked him.
No
Okay.
audio.
Well, he instantly just swung on me.
There's one on this door. Yeah, I can drop on this one. On the door. I'm on the door. I kicked it one.
I'm not entirely sure what your Valk is doing here, to be honest.
We drop on windows.
Walking from
Oh,
the
he's
back door,
healing.
walking from the back
He's-
door to here.
On this one. On
Afterwards.
On the door. I kicked it once.
Yeah, and then he goes behind them.
I cracked him. One swung behind me. One swung behind me. There's one on this.
Wait.
Yeah, I can.
Horizon hit 40.
We drop on windows and stuff. There's one on this.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I forgot to mention this. Well, I guess I didn't put this in the doc, but your Valk has to comment that she's healing here.
Door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can drop on this one. On the door. I'm on the door. I kicked it once.
She's like out of the fight, but you're like
Yeah, we didn't
you're
know.
also going in.
Well, at this point, I've just fully committed, haven't I? So, like, because of my legend.
I'm on the door. I kicked it once.
And then you also need to comment that you're peeking this as well.
Yes. Yep.
I cracked him. One swung behind me. One swung behind me. Knock one. Nice.
Knock
What
on
are you
me.
guys?
He said he whiffed here. Inside, but yeah.
I think you'll find interesting, Dennis. HP are currently in first place.
Really?
Yeah.
What game is it?
Wait, who's that?
High
hits?
peak. That's Bavis, Hong
Hong
Kong,
By the
Kong
way, they
and
are
Rift.
contesting armors on the
No, they're not. They're
Storm
going
Point.
Sino.
and Stormpoint not contesting. Okay, that
Yeah,
means
yeah.
they're contesting SMS and CNOT. Because
That's
SMS
bad,
is there. I know, but it's like still contest. But they still didn't play Stormpoint, I guess.
This is the
Damn.
Alliance comp now. They run Valks here. No, they run Valk Horizon Caustic.
It is LG's comp and not Alliance comp.
Okay, yeah.
LG ran it before them.
High peak run the Raven comp on World's Edge.
Yep,
Dude,
True.
I can't believe Horizon is like this calm and shit.
I like Gnaske.
Yeah, that's my boy.
So,
Hilarious.
and a question now in my I tell them in EU Gnaske is the macro god. Do you think someone in EU has a better macro than Gnaske?
No.
Exactly. So I mean, because I always tell them like he's in a different level in macro than anyone in EU, in whole EU. And in NA, I don't think about anyone who has a really great macro, even as Gnaske. I maybe would say
Well,
the
Furia for
OG,
sure.
OG guys. Furia is different way. Like definitely they have a good macros. That's why how they dominated in LAN. But I would say OG they were quite good in macros, macro level.
I would argue that. I would debate that. They would stat check and just slam Godspot, and once people like figured that out, it just didn't work. Which is like that's what they were doing at Rally, and it just like literally didn't work. They
Yeah.
would just slam Godspot and just die and got like 15th or whatever the fuck.
And I tell them, you now with DSM is the missing piece. You giving Hal the macro that he needs really, because his micro is
True.
in a different level than any other one in EU in NA, sorry. But his macro is not in the same level of let's say the top god's macros. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say he has a bad macros because he's like the greatest player. I'm not gonna say anything about him, but I,
mean,
think
you
his
can, I
macro
don't
is
care.
not. Okay, I think his macro is really bad.
I mean,
Before you.
Yeah. Of course. I used to flame him for his macro too. No disagreement there.
So,
Like
I just didn't
he
dare
even
to
knows
say
I
it.
used to flame him. That's the thing. Like,
I mean, I just didn't dare to say it, to be honest.
no,
But,
you're fine.
okay.
Which is true. I mean, the thing is, I don't think anyone's macro is good. To be honest, I think
mean-
Fury is the only Fury, and then Gnaske when he's like not being a meta slave.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, I just don't like. I don't think like Energy's macro is not spectacular. There's just no one. Like no one's macro is actually really that good.
I mean, the only
But-
thing I like about Sweet is really his way of comms in the team and his really kind of explanation on every step. Like he knows
Yeah,
what
his
he has to do.
micromanaging is insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, I showed one example for my boys about Sweet, how he really is. Like he's insane in micro level. Sorry, he's insane.
Yeah.
He's just like and so calm, so
So
his
clear.
comms are like really
Yeah.
clear and so on. I just told them and said like, please try to do the same, at least like in the same level. Relax, do the same type of things and no stress.
Yeah. I'd say the main thing you can learn from Sweet is just to articulate what you're saying.
Yes, true.
But yeah, that's what I got for you. I mean, yeah, our macro is like not even nowhere at the level I want it to be yet. Like we're still learning a lot. But
You guys go over stuff quite a lot though, from everything I've heard, like more than they used to, because they didn't really used to do much outside of game, did they?
yeah, they didn't do anything. So yeah, we go over a lot. A lot, that's for sure. But yeah, I sent you guys the doc. Like the main, I have like macro and micro goals at the end, things that you can like focus on, and you'll be able to like watch VODs, your VODs together, a lot of you, and actually be able to reflect on these things and be like, are we addressing these things? Like, are we doing these things? Like,
Yep.
is everyone being accountable, etc. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Perfect.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
the question is, if you have another free times, can we like ask for a new sessions and like book another sessions? Or would you prefer to take new teams and so on?
I actually prefer to do the same team like over and over, but I can't. I can't necessarily. I kind of
Guarantee.
have to rethink how I'm doing this, to be honest, because yeah, like I'm basically doing this at like minimum wage price, and
I know.
I'm down to pay more
I
if we
understand.
could.
Yeah,
I
we-
mean, this
often.
is you have to define what you want. I mean, this is your
Yeah.
rights, definitely. I mean,
we
don't-
did discuss that we're happy to pay like a decent
Yes.
amount more. Like
Yeah.
If we could make this like a
True.
yeah, if
more
we-
common thing, if you
yeah.
have time, obviously, for it.
like pretty much
Well,
anything
I-
you ask for, we would like. We'd be pretty much very interested in it.
Hmm.
okay,
But
yeah,
that's
I
how
have to-
serious. That's how serious we are about like wanting to get better. Like
Yeah.
it's-
right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Like, and the other thing I have to think about is like, I can't. I have a lot of people asking, and I can't like, do this for like everyone, and
Yeah.
I especially can't. I have to think about how to explain this. There's like very little point for me to do this for like noobs. You guys aren't the noobs. Like, I have like a bunch of noobs asking me to coaching them. Like, I mean, sorry I'm flaming them, but that's just there's no other way for I could call them low tier, low skill players. There's no difference.
Yeah.
Same
So I have to
here,
like, yeah, I have to clean all that up and like figure out what I want to do with all that, like, and how often I want to do it. But I mean, I'm down. Just give me a little bit to like
Yeah.
set all that up.
Yeah. But
That's just
we'd
tell us
absolutely
like
love to.
when you have when you have time, how often you can offer us like for this, and then you say how much you want. It's completely fine for us.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
can.
Well, just to say, definitely, it can't be more than once a week. Like it just
Yeah,
it
that's
can't
fine
be.
enough. That's fine
It's
enough.
fine.
Yeah.
It's
Once a
more
week.
than. I mean, it's quite good for us at least. Because I mean, especially Teddy, he would love to listen from you, let's say, or anyone from TSMs, because he loves TSM.
Oh my god.
I love
I mean,
it.
I think I mean I've got like a 32-month sub on House, so that's just.
I
Yeah.
remember. I remember.
It's,
So I remember telling him one things, and he never accepted from me. And I think if you tell him, and if you, I don't know if you agree on it or not, he loves to zone rap.
Who?
Teddy. And then I told him like zone rap sucks. And then don't do it, because I explained him my opinion about zone rapping. Like it needs really like you are taking heals, you're taking like materials that you can use in something important. You're taking it for midkits, you're taking spot in your things for something useful. But he thinks it's a good. And he never got let's say convinced by me. And I want just your opinion about it. Do you think it's good or bad?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's
I mean, I was
really
landing lightning
Thanks,
rod
God.
at the time.
Thanks,
I was
God.
landing
Thanks,
lightning
God.
rod, and like
No,
came
you don't
from
have to storm
Raven.
out from. You don't have to storm out from letting road either.
I told
Yeah,
him, I
I
told him
mean-
even the same. I said like, if you are good in the rotation, and I told him how to even how to loot it and how to run through it, but he just didn't want to listen. But now you spoke it, it's finished. Everything is done. We don't have issue.
I've one
I
question
remember
as well.
he got annoyed of me because I said like zone wrapping sucks and please never do it again. And I remember this, and he got like really
Well,
annoyed. And now it's
we,
from
we,
you.
we can have a conversation about that because it's actually like things should just make sense. It doesn't matter who's saying it.
Yep.
So, for example, like the main reason why storm mapping is bad, outside of the fact that you're like slowing down everything, you have to craft medikits, etc., is that like the way you want to play this game is that you want to clear teams out from the game. Like that's just the most practical way to win a tournament. But if you like zone mapping, you're spending a lot of the time just being inactive. You're not actually affecting the game, the map.
The playable area, yeah.
Like you wanna be responsible for things that are happening on the map. You wanna you wanna influence the game, but you can't influence the game if you're storm mapping because you're just like AFK basically.
Yeah, I mean the times we used it, like I haven't done it in a while, like yeah, man, I haven't done it in a while. But the times we used
know.
it, like it was just about like catching people off guard when they were like fighting. Like for example, we were Stormcatcher once, and we wrapped a team, under the height of command center, the beacon up there, where like we wanted to go game 1.
Yeah.
I wrapped a team there because they were fighting, and we just like killed everyone there because they were all fighting, and then we just got free spot.
I
That
even
was,
told
like-
you this one is not a really big deal because if you zone wrap once, it's like because you didn't have a chance to do something in one side of the map, you maybe can do it. But I was like about talking in general about the zone wrapping idea. Like you delay yourself, everything is delayed by not even using the time in something more useful. Like that's what was my opinion about the zone wrapping. Yes, if you have to zone wrap because you couldn't find an opportunity, if you got kept in one side, and then you have to zone wrap because of something, yes, you can do it. I mean, it's your choice for this. But the idea about the zone wrap is you are just not using your time of anything useful, but you are just using it by delaying your loot to stay behind. This is
Yeah,
what
I'd agree. Like there are some niche scenarios where that's like your only option, but
Yeah.
generally it's not good. I mean, like, yeah, I'm a firm believer of like just the earlier you take your first fight, the earlier you get your like second rotation abilities and can kill a second team. And if you've killed 2 teams before late game, then your side of the map is like pretty damn free, like pretty damn clear. Like you can kind of just walk in 10 zone.
Yep.
So, like my philosophy is like like you just want to influence the game as much as possible, and that requires you being like highly efficient early game.
Yeah.
Yep. Just being quick on rotates and
Yeah, regardless of if you're playing edge or zone or whatever. Like if you're playing edge, you especially need to because in fact you need to make up that time.
Yeah.
Like you're behind everyone.
So
Yep.
one question about like about looting. Like how long do you think we can take max to loot like wall and siphon? What should be like the timer goal to leave the POI?
Wall is a bit weird because like the fucking flight path like can just
Oh,
change
yeah.
it by literally 30 seconds, but
Yeah.
like I'd say 3:30 in general, around there.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you're just like crafting though. Like make sure you are using all that crafter if you can for that zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't leave wall with like 120 crafter or some shit.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
this is the loot path we used right now. I linked it in the Discord chat. I don't know if you agree with it mostly. The top one is if there's a beacon platform, and the bottom one is if there isn't a beacon on the platform. I don't know if you think this is like a good way to loot it.
Okay, so the second picture, the seer, I think actually the seer just loots the one building, hits the bin to the south, and then immediately crafts, and then goes and loots like either inside wall if that person is paying any armors or any guns or any attachments or anything,
Mm-hmm.
or just loots the other buildings. Just so that you're not all crafting at the same time.
You kind of like
But
stagger the crafting a little bit,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and then same thing with like the first one. The seer can like go and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But looks fine to me. I mean, what we do at TSM is pretty much the same. The first picture, we do have someone land. Like the sea would actually land at the building southeast, like where the zip is, because there's like extra bins and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, at the
and
top picture I
crafter
was meant
timers.
to draw the X. The X is like where you start your looting. I meant to
Okay.
write the X on the middle bins between the two left buildings. So instead of me going from inside to the middle bins, I just go straight to the top left building. And he starts
Oh.
his looting at the middle bins on the left and then loots his way to the buildings below. Like in the
I
second
think
one.
you should just do it in reverse, so you're like
Yeah,
leaning
yeah.
towards the crafter.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay.
At least that should speed up things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I have for y'all. Do you have anything else for me, real quick, before I dip?
I think I think I've pretty much answered everything. I really appreciate the document as well. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
no
you.
worries.
I have one question. I mean, it's nothing about our playstyle and stuff, but what the nerfs and buffs do you expect next season, and for who?
I mean, I have no clue.
No
I
clue?
know I know just as much as you guys.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know anything.
Would you love to
So-
see someone get buffed or nerfed? That's currently in meta.
I mean, if Seer could get
Seer
nerfed,
Horizon.
that'd be nice. I don't think Horizon necessarily needs to get nerfed. I think Rev could use a buff, like a little bit, just to incentivize people to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Octane needs a buff. That character's useless. Wraith needs a buff.
Oh my god! Thank God you said that.
Yeah, Wraith, important.
Path, you could
Or
use one.
for Teddy.
My guy is really useless.
The reason I don't care about Path too much is I don't think the character is like that insane to watch. I guess I mean the grandpas can be sick, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Octane is to me is way sicker. Like
Dude, I love the Octane meta when it was Octane, Bloodhound, Gibby. Dude, that was so much fun.
I just like Octane because I mean the movement text you could do like it's just OP. Like you feel like a god. You can just do crazy shit. And then Wraith is just like I don't know. Wraith is just sick. Like you can just influence the map from 75 meters away and just keep going back and forth.
No.
I
Mm,
wanted
yeah.
a portal distance buff back to 100 meters, like instead of anything else.
Well, the cooldown is a bigger problem. It's 3.5 minutes. Like that's so fucking bad. Like Ashport's 2 minutes, Seralt's 2 minutes. Like you just can't even play the game with a 3.5 minute ult cooldown. Like
Yeah.
they should just make it 2 minutes. To be honest, like Ashport, and then yeah, that'd be
That wouldn't
sick.
even affect like the casual community either, like the casual people who play Wraith.
Yeah, it really wouldn't. Well, the problem, it actually could because the reason why they're not changing Wraith is because she's just played so much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like in pubs and like in new lobbies. So their concern is that she'd be played even more than she already is. Which
Yep.
I guess fair enough, but yeah, I mean to be honest, I think the reason why she's played so much is just because of the fucking heirloom,
Yeah.
and she's like edgy.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
And also, there's a bunch of characters in the game that are also just like useless. Like Lifeline feels like shit to play.
What about
Ooh.
Mirage? Heard TSM is
mean-
gonna run Mirage soon.
Listen, Mirage is the best seer counter.
Yeah,
That-
it
you
is
know,
true.
that's-
We found it
I-
out yesterday. Right.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
I've-
someone was running Mirage for some reason, and I had a Seer ult down, and there was just so many people
Wait, what time were you playing? And were you playing on EU?
Yeah, we were playing EU.
Oh, okay, never mind. I played Mirage Ranked. I'm like D1, I think, or something. It's so fun.
I had
I only gain on that character. I've literally never lost IP, and it actually feels insane.
Yeah, I
Because
once fought
everyone in
one.
ranked plays Seer.
I once fought a
Exactly.
Mirage and I queued him right when he ulted and I saw like 10 decoys in my face with health bars and stuff and I was so confused. I just didn't know what
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I mean that's a counter to like information in general. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know what flooding is. Like, and like cybersecurity, but
No, I don't.
No.
flooding is just when you just like overload the network with like
Oh yeah.
fake info. That's
Oh,
like
right.
that's what Mirage does.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people want a counter to Seer that you can like hide away from the wall hacks, but you can also just overload his wall hacks, and it's
Yeah, Mirage does it perfectly.
just it's not the only way to like counter wall hacks. Like you don't have to hide from them. You can also just confuse people
Mm-hmm.
instead.
Especially in ranked.
It's so good, and I swear to God, like I'm farming like bro. Let me show you something. I killed Jembren in 1v1 with Mirage.
The most annoying character ever to 1v1 is Mirage. Like he's so
Okay.
annoying.
Yeah, I don't think I really killed him because of my abilities here, but like, I don't know. This character is so fucking funny. And when people die, dude, when people die to Mirage, like it's just a slap in the face. Like they just feel
Yeah.
so fucking bad.
Just movemented on him.
Was Jem Burton streaming?
Nah,
Oh, that would have been such a good reaction.
true. Well, Walty was, and we killed
that
him.
Volt was
actually, but
beaming. Fucking hell.
put a little bit of Kovacs in my day.
Yeah, I
I've
hate
got- I've
blind
got, like-
mirages.
It's got like 100 hours of Kovacs, I think. Yeah,
How many?
Not bad.
100.
100 hours, not bad.
Okay,
Not bad. I mean, that's
okay.
actually amateur hour, but
I think that he has more than me, but I have like 550.
No, I don't
He
have,
has-
I don't have
has more.
that much. I don't
No?
have that much.
Okay.
No. I stopped playing Kovacs a long time ago.
Okay. I mean, I had a time where I was grinding like them. Always.
I only have
always.
134.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect this. I was like putting you in and more actually, because you had your time on grinding.
Yeah, that was
not
only for like
grinding,
that was only for like a month or two.
Hmm.
Actually, rewatching that video, I think he thinks I run away. And he thinks that the decoy or the person, the Mirage that's like running back at him is like a decoy. But okay, so actually, yeah, Mirage is just OP. Alright, well, I'm gonna head out. It was fun talking, guys. I'll let you know
Thank you.
what my availability is next time.
Right,
Definitely.
yeah, you can just
Yeah,
message me on Discord or Twitter about that.
I,
Yeah.
actually, funny story, real quick. I had a nightmare. Not a nightmare, really, but like, I woke up panicking that you guys like sent me like 1,000 messages because I was late, and like just flaming me and being like, "Oh, C line would have been on time." I've been joking. I had to make sure I like got up. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like in my nightmare. I was like, I woke up at like noon or something.
That's funny.
Imagine.
Imagine scam, real scam code shit right there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys
Alright,
later.
Alright,
See you, man. Have a
See
good
ya.
rest of your day.
See ya.
have a
I
good
appreciate
evening.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.